They're running in the All-American Futurity and
Welcome to the Triple Crown Report from Ruidoso Downs Racetrack. I'm Tim Keithley along with Tom Dawson in the Hall of Fame studios.
We're happy in a little box today.
for a change.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you along, Tom, and we're excited about what happened this past weekend at Ruidoso Downs. Some great racing.
Well, it was some good racing. The wind blew, and the conditions were tough, but good horses got through it. We've got some great fields for both the Futurity and the Ruidoso Derby.
And everybody was following the flag, it seemed like, all day, just watching the flag.
Watching the flag, yeah.
Our coverage of the Triple Crown this season at Ruidoso Downs is brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency, Paragon Farms, Granada Farms, Kavanaugh Quarter Horses, Royal Vista Ranch, Lip Chip, New Mexico Horse Breeders Association, and our friends at the AQHA. We'll be back to take you through the entire weekend in just a moment.
The American Quarter Horse. They represent a new year, new opportunities, and exciting expectations to be winners. For over 30 years, Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency has insured American quarter horses that include champions and their bloodlines. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency knows that your horse represents a large investment. Ensuring that investment will be the least overall expense an owner has in protecting that investment, whether it's a new foal, a new purchase, or a special runner. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency offers prospective full coverage to protect your investment from the very beginning, while in utero, and when your foals are born. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency can insure them at 24 hours of age. Their family has made supporting the American Quarter Horse a priority. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency is proud to be a Triple Crown Report sponsor. Visit their website at jonesbloodstockinsurance.com for more information.
Back to the Triple Crown Report from Ruidoso Downs Racetrack. And Tom, let's get started and talk about opening day, Friday. Though we mentioned the wind was flying, the flags throughout the day, everybody was watching, but it was pretty fair racing.
Well, it was a factor. The wind would come and it would go, and you never knew when, but it was blowing all day long. Nobody got the benefit of a free ride. So if you wanted to qualify, you had to cut through some sort of headwind.
And the top qualifier from the Chris Odell barn was Trusty Jess in race 7. Here's track announcer Robert Fox.
they're running AJ Top Secret. A beautiful break, but begins to float in on Flying Rabbit 1, 2, 3. And that left Relentless Eagle to come on to challenge. And now here comes Trusty Jess. And in the extreme outside is Tia Perla. And Trusty Jess is kicked on. Trusty Jess can win from Relentless Eagle. Then a photo.
Well, I watched the replay a few times. He left the gate pretty good. He needs to improve on it just a little bit, but he left and was out of trouble. So I think some upswing to him, you know, and that's what you always like to have. I hope that's not the bottom of him, you know. That's what we all hope in the trials, that we've saved a little bit, if there's such a thing. But I like the way he bounced back. You know, this morning we were hand walking him. He's jumping and playing and everything. That's a good sign. All four legs look good to me.
Tom, Chris had 3 wins that day, and he's got a hot barn, no doubt about it.
Oh, he's got a lot of good horses in the barn. You probably wouldn't have thought Trusty Jess was at the top of that list going in. He was bred by Ray Willis, our friend from Roswell, ran him through the sale, bought him back, put a couple of friends in a partnership, and here's Trusty Jess qualifying for $1 million race.
And you can see it was a fair day, both inside, middle, and outside.
Well, the thing about this race was that the break was really good for about everybody except the one horse. Trusty Jess was right there on the lead along with the 4, Relentless Eagle, who also qualified, Tia Perla on the outside. Trusty Jess, not a big striding horse, but Chris Odell described him as being cat-like. I think that's pretty apt description. He's quick, and he was sure quick enough to get a qualifying spot.
Congratulations to the connections, along with Chris, jockey Eduardo Nicasio, and Trusty Jess, who will be in the final. Let's go to day 2 and talk about the top qualifier. And Let's Leave. This is an interesting story because Let's Leave was right there in the West Texas with KJ Little Deuce Coupe, and both of them we're going to see again.
At the time this race was run, Let's Leave was in the 9th race. KJ Little Deuce Coupe had the fastest time from race 2. Now we know that West Texas is a nice race, but it doesn't always portend great things for the $1 million Ruidoso Futurity. This time it was different, very different.
Let's watch race 9 from Saturday with track announcer Robert Fox.
They're running and off. Slow was opt in. Let's Leave broke sharp at the rail. Let's Leave already has his mind on business and he's already clear. Let's Leave Forgiven Cowboy. Then we have Concealed Carry and Cartel and Sass. Opt in well back and well in front is Let's Leave. Let's Leave. Let's see.
Let's Leave. You know, a little horse that hits his third out. First 2 races he ran in the trials of the West Texas, and the final he had a little bit of trouble coming out of the gate, but he showed he had speed. We said if this guy ever, you know, once he gets to breaking, he's gonna be something else, and he showed it on the trial yesterday. He put it all together and had a complete race, and that's what he did. Hey, this is what it's all about. You know, that's what horse racing is all about. We got good horses, and we're happy to run them. I'm just grateful to be in that race, and yeah, we're ready for the showdown.
Trainer Eric Valenzuela, who qualified 3 for the Futurity. We'll visit with him a little bit later in the program. But Tom, clearly, Let's Leave. This was the most impressive Futurity trial of the weekend.
It certainly was, and maybe the second most impressive performance by a quarter horse this year, behind Dark Enemy's win in a Grade 1 race, the Remington Park Futurity. Let's take a look at how Let's Leave did it. He left the gate, and that was the key. He's away good, and he gets his position, plenty of room inside, left-hand stick from Sergio Becerra, and he's gone. He's opening up. Now, people that don't know quarter horse racing might say, well, why does he still got the whip out? He's leading by 3 or 4 lengths. You're running against the clock. You're trying to beat those other horses, but you're running against the clock. And if you're not fast, you're not going to qualify.
The clock and the wind.
Well, you have to keep that in your mind.
You bet.
That I might be beating this bunch, but there's tougher ones in other races, and I got to beat them too.
All right, let's look at the field that qualified this weekend for the $1 million Ruidoso Futurity that will return in 2 weeks. Trusty Jess on top on Friday. Kiss My Wine.
I like Kiss My Wine. I think it's got a big future.
That's a Heath Taylor.
Yep.
And you'll see that Eric Valenzuela has another in, and then Relentless Eagle and Trump This Record got in just by like a hundredth of a second.
Trump This Record got in, and then Dark Enemy was 2 100ths behind there.
And then on Saturday, Let's Leave.
Way in front of Little Deuce Coupe.
With KJ Little Deuce Coupe, and those two were 1-2 in the West Texas, and Little Deuce Coupe got the edge.
There's no, I mean, that was totally impressive. There's no way that I think there's that much of a spread between those horses in reality.
Wired 440, Irish Sace, AR Victorious Legacy, and that's the lineup for the $1 million Ruidoso Futurity. We'll be back and visit a little bit more with Eric Valenzuela and talk about his triple entry in the Futurity in just a moment. This is the Triple Crown Report.
It's the feeling you get when that foal takes his first wobbly steps. The feeling when the gavel drops and you pass the lead. The exhilaration of watching your horse cross the finish line ahead of the pack. It's the highs, the lows, and the hope of racing your next champion. It fuels our passion. At Paragon Farms, horses aren't just our business. They're our way of life. Our yearling prep begins at birth. Each foal is halter broke and led daily. A mutual respect and trust is built right from the start, giving Paragon Farms raised foals a leg up on the competition. We invite you to stop by our shed row during the yearling sales to see what shaping the future of racing looks like at Paragon Farms.
Hey there, horsemen! It's time to revolutionize your barn. Tired of carrying around paperwork? Dealing with long trailer lines? Tired of the hours spent tracking temperatures by hand? The answer is in the Hoof Link system, powered by Lip Chip. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Each scan reveals everything you need to work, compete, and protect your horses. View current paperwork, pre-register for your next event, and even check in on your horse's health. Lip Chip was built by horsemen for horsemen. We know how you ride. The Hoof Link system combines your breeding records, works, and daily check-ins, all stored safely on your smart device. Our technology is designed and assembled right in Texas. We are family, so we treat you like family. It's time to make life at the barn a little easier. The future is here, and the future is Lip Chip. Let her rip, Lip Chip.
Kavanaugh Quarter Horses is proud to own AQHA champion Uncle D. He won the Grade 1 Ruidoso Futurity by daylight.
And Uncle D has spurted clear, and Uncle D trying to run away.
Uncle D was the leading freshman sire of sale yearlings at Heritage Place in January. Through 2024, Uncle D's foals are eligible for the $50,000 smart money incentive to open Grade 1 winners. Champion Uncle D, poised to be a difference maker, standing at Lazy E Ranch.
Back to the Triple Crown Report, and in this program each week we're going to get to know a lot of the farms, a lot of the owners, trainers, and breeders who make our sport of athletes possible. One of them is Justin Hosea from the Paragon Farms, and they have to be very excited about one of the finalists, Wired 440.
I would sure think so. Paragon Farms, owned by Tom Leeper, one of the best operations in Texas. They both consign to the sale and they buy from the sale. This time they consigned this son of Tempting Dash out of Time for Jest by Apolitical Jest, and it was sold for $135,000, and there he is in the final.
We spoke to Justin, the manager of Paragon Farms, and he was just as excited as an owner to watch his horse come down and qualify for the Ruidoso Futurity.
Well, what we do is, from the word go, when they're born, we put our hands on them. They're handled every day, twice a day. We're trying to get that horse confident and calm and cool for all the things that are going to be shown to them later on in racing. And then we get them to the sale. We sales prep them, get them ready, and we bring them. And it's a hands-on, every day-to-day thing for 90 days with these guys and getting them ready. When the gavel falls, our horses are ready to go into training. There's no teaching them to get on trailers or what a bath is or any of that stuff. These suckers are ready to go. They're ready to go to work. There's no time wasted there at all. And they progress a lot better that way when they've been taught from babies. You just flow with it. They go. There's no fighting. It's a feeling like no other to raise one and watch him here at the big place and running with the big horses, and it's an extraordinary feeling.
They're running. Wired 440 came away beautifully at the rail, guns it, and has the lead and is clear already. Wired 440 looking like that schooling race is clear. KJB Frank K next. Then we have No Fire Required and Turning Point. Wired 440 dominates.
What can I say? He loves to run. The horse is a little hot, but he knows what he's bred to do, and he showed it yesterday. The horse behaves really well on the gates. That's what's going to help him, and he leaves there since day one. Absolutely. Paragon Farms, can't say anything more better than them. They're high-class people. They had these horses ready. We're just happy that we got him.
Oh, man. I mean, and we don't even own him, but it's like he's one of my kids. He coming out of that gate like that, like a freight train, and leaving them. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we want for the farm. That's what we want for the owner that bought the horse and the trainer.
We're pretty excited. We know how hard it is to get one in. We're lucky to have three. We'll take it.
They're running. Fast break at the rail for Isajess Special. In the center of the course, we have Caramel Macchiato. And then High Fling outside of KJ Flying. Cowgirls floating to visit the fans on the outside fence. And Caramel Macchiato runs away with it. Caramel Macchiato.
took a little longer than we liked, you know, to mature, but he also showed great talent, you know. After his schooling race that we had here, we knew we had something special. Can't say we thought he was going to run just like that, but we knew he was going to be there. Couldn't be any more happy with what he did. Hey, this is what it's all about, you know, that's what horse racing is all about. We got good horses and we're happy to run them. I'm just grateful to be in that race, and yeah, we're ready for the showdown.
Okay. Well, Eric has to be excited to have 3 shots, and he's doing very well here at the racetrack. You see his name in the winner's circle quite often.
Got 30 horses over there. He's got some good owners behind him. I expect him to do well the whole meet.
Okay, back with the Ruidoso Derby, and we'll talk all about that in just a moment on the Triple Crown Report. For the past 4 decades, Granada Farms has been a full-service breeding facility in the quarter horse industry, standing top stallions, including freshman sire Flying Cowboy 123, AQHA champion EC Jet 1, freshman sire Hawkeye, and 2022's leading freshman sire This Is an Eagle, just to name a few. A long-standing tradition of raising and selling quarter horse racing's best, our priority is equipping each individual with confidence and manners, a difference you'll notice when purchasing a yearling from Granada Farms. A pursuit of excellence with a dedication for what is good for the horse, Granada Farms is committed to producing quality Texas-bred horses for the racetrack and the performance arena. Visit granadafarms.com for a full list of stallions and services.
New Mexico offers year-round racing for both quarter horses and thoroughbreds at its 5 tracks. The purses and awards pay out $60 million annually. And this year, there'll be $1 million futurity for New Mexico-bred quarter horses in Albuquerque. Sunland Park offers a $250,000 thoroughbred Derby and Oaks. Breed your mares in New Mexico and buy at the August New Mexico Bred Sale and the Ruidoso Select Sale Labor Day weekend. The smart money says New Mexico is the place to race.
Royal Vista Ranch, committed to providing first-class service in equine reproduction and proudly standing top sires across the quarter horse racing and Western performance horse industries. With a dedicated team, expert leadership, and state-of-the-art facilities, Royal Vista Ranch specializes in mare care, stallion collection and freezing, sales preparation, foaling services, embryo transfer, and more. Located just 35 minutes south of Oklahoma City in Wayne, Oklahoma, and serving clients around the world, Royal Vista Ranch is ready to help you navigate your path to equine breeding success.
Back to the Triple Crown Report. Let's talk about the 3-year-olds in the Ruidoso Derby. And we had a superstar. The 2-year-old AQHA champ was back on the racetrack, Tom.
Cyber Attack was in what I thought was the toughest trial heat I've ever seen against the Ruidoso Futurity winner and the Texas Classic Futurity winner. It was a grade 1 race right in the middle of trial day.
It was pretty good, and we're going to show it to you. It's race 7 from Sunday. Here's track announcer Robert Fox.
They're running Cyber Attack, broke beautifully at Cyber Attack. Ivory Senator goes with him. Along the inside, Rocket Jess V is beginning to motor on. Then we have 2-7, and Cyber Attack and Ivory Senator battle away. And then to the inside, Rocket Jess V, Cyber Attack, Ivory Senator.
Super nice horse. Everybody in the country knows Cyber Attack, and they should. He's a horse to reckon with, and he brings his A game every time, and that's what's nice when you lead him up there. They might beat him, but it's not going to be because he didn't try. He's a hard trier, and that's hard to find in horses. He gives it all to you, and it's a pleasure to train him.
Trainer Chris Odell, who had an extremely successful weekend, qualified the top in the Derby with Cyber Attack. Let's take a look at the replay, Tom.
Yeah, very tough race, as we said. Cyber Attack number 7. and Ivory Senator right next door to him, number 6. Cyber Attack runs with his head down. It's one of the things that he's always done throughout his career, and sometimes it makes it look more like he's laboring than he is. But he had his hands full with Ivory Senator, who runs him to a head on the inside. Rocket SV is going to qualify as well, but he has that way of running, makes him a little bit heavy-headed.
I spoke with jockey Nicasio in the winner's circle after the race, said that this horse got a little tired because he hadn't been out in nearly 6 months.
Well, then sometimes it works out well because your trainer gets them 80% ready for the trials, they qualify, now you come back 100% in 2 weeks.
Let's take a look at the field now that qualified for the $900,000 estimated Ruidoso Derby, and you see Cyber Attack is at the top of the list, and you see the lineup. So the Derby to be run on Saturday, June the 10th, the Futurity on Sunday, June the 11th, and we'll be here and tell you all about it. Each week we give you all of the horses, trainers, jockeys, and breeders in the Triple Crown Report, and we'd like to thank our sponsors for making it happen. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency, Paragon Farms, Granada Farms, Kavanaugh Quarter Horses, Royal Vista Ranch, Lip Chip, New Mexico Horse Breeders Association, and our friends at the AQHA. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's do it again.
We'll do it again next week. The Triple Crown Report. Thanks for joining us.